Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, an emergency vehicle swap between the campus and the city, how the Oswego Fire Department is repaying a favor 4 years in the making.
And as the votes continue to tally up, another look at the state of the races.
Plus, the city meeting is moving money around, including a hearing on $1 million restoration.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Kinjal Gurung.
And I'm Eliza Hopkins.
The city of Oswego is moving money around to make some key projects in the port city, including a movement to have a hearing on one surrounding a major restoration project. Mayor Rob Corando called for a public hearing later this month regarding an application for a $1 million grant to help restore historic Oswego Freight House Railroad building.
The Freight House, currently listed on the National Register of Historic Places, was acquired under new ownership last month. Other budget motions included a movement by Fire Chief Paul Canzone to perform budgetary transfers totaling $61,000 for new firehouse equipment and a request from the Oswego Police Department to accept a grant for nearly $24,000 for new cameras.
SUNY Oswego has joined the Bee Campus USA program alongside many other cities and campuses from around the country. As pollinators like bee, butterflies, and hummingbirds are responsible for 90% of pollination in flowering plants, the Bee Campus USA program hopes to create more pollinator-friendly landscapes. The application was stewarded by the University Campus Action Committee, Office of Sustainability, and Rice Creek Field Station. Many members of campus are already involved in pro-pollinator efforts. The Oswego Fire Department has loaned an ambulance to the Student Association Volunteer Ambulance Corporation, also known as SAVAC, while their ambulance being repaired. This temporary no-cost agreement allows SAVAC to continue their ambulance service coverage on campus. The agreement also returns a favor to SAVAC as Oswego Fire Department had borrowed their ambulance during the COVID-19 pandemic. Mayor Robert Corando stated that he is very happy to assist SAVAC to continue life-saving services.
Earlier today, from noon to 6, SUNY Oswego's Real Estate Club hosted their first ever Oswego Real Estate Conference. The event planned to give accessibility to students to find jobs, network, and get a taste of what a career in real estate looks like. Several real estate professionals came to speak on the topic, including representatives of state, county, and city agencies, as well as real estate companies and funding institutions. The Latino Student Union invites the campus community to join them in a dinner showcasing Latino culture and contributions in New York City this Saturday, November 9th, in the Sheldon Hall Ballroom. The keynote speaker will be Senior Vice Chancellor for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Chief Diversity Officer for SUNY, and renowned poet Ricardo Nazario Colon.
SUNY Oswego is continuing the efforts to bring new students, extending their free application deadline 2 weeks to November 17th. The announcement comes on the heels of Oswego's 4040 initiative announcement, which looks to double the university's number of degrees awarded by the year 2040. The move also comes off the heels of SUNY Wide Free Application Initiative, which ran from mid-October to November 3rd. And for once this semester, we seem to have some seasonable weather for Thursday news. But will it stay that way?
Let's take a first look at your forecast with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Aurora Fitzgerald. Aurora?
Thanks, ladies. So, for our weather headlines, we have high winds coming up tomorrow. Those are going to be gusting possibly up to 30 to 40 miles per hour. I'm going to show you how to get ready for that. With those winds, the winter chills will return. I'm going to go over wind chill for you guys and how to explain that and how to bundle up when it gets really cold. We will have a rainy weekend, unfortunately, but the rain would bring sun. Currently, going into next week, and we still are seeing unusually warm weather in November, still seeing those 50 degrees, but I'll have my full forecast coming right up. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Aurora. And although the election day is behind us, we still have few races in question across the nation and some information on the ones that have already been called. Eliza Hopkins is at the monitor to break down some of these key races. Eliza?
Thanks, Kinjal. Starting with the U.S. Senate races, Republicans have currently gained 4 seats in the Senate, bringing their total to 53 seats. Republicans were able to flip key seats in Ohio, West Virginia, and Montana to flip the previous 51. 49 majority held by Democrats and left-leaning independents, ending the party's 3 years of Senate control. Races in Nevada and Arizona are still being counted, but those seats are expected to stay in Democratic hands. New York's lone Senate race was not a close one, with incumbent Democrat Christine Gillibrand handily fending off Republican Michael Sapercone by over 1 million votes. In the House of Representatives, Republicans were able to gain 2 seats on the Democrats so far, but the count is still ongoing. A party must win 218 seats to gain a majority in the House, a number that neither party has officially reached yet, but Republicans are currently projected to reach with the remaining races. The 24th district where Oswego resides saw Republican incumbent Claudia Tenney take home a convincing victory, but just south in the 22nd district, Democrat challenger John Mannion flipped a Republican seat by incumbent Brandon Williams. In the presidential race, results are still incoming in Arizona and Nevada, but the currently right-leaning states would only add to a victory by former President Donald Trump. Vice President Kamala Harris and President Joe Biden have both addressed the nation, urging supporters to accept the results and support a peaceful transition of power. With the win, Republicans are projected to control all 3 branches next year. And logically, Proposition 1 has passed in New York State, bringing protections against discrimination based on gender identity and adding protections for reproductive rights, including abortions. The proposition will also add language to the state constitution preventing the denial of civil rights based on factors like age, sexual orientation, and disability, among others. Oswego County did not vote in favor of the proposition, with 54% of voters voting no.
Back in September, this neighborhood along the Catawba.
Still ahead tonight, plans for hurricane relief continue in North Carolina. What one country is doing.
Plus, an update on charges in the death of One Direction's Liam Payne.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Welcome back to WTOP-10. I'm your Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Aurora Fitzgerald. Taking a quick look at our current conditions for Oswego. Currently 46 degrees. The temperatures are definitely going down. It's a little bit cloudy outside, but not too bad. Pressure is a little high. Humidity at 77%. Dew point is at 40, and wind is south at 4 to 7 miles per hour, so it's not too breezy out there. Looking at our chances of rain for the rest of the week, we are going to get some rain later this week. Friday, you're probably going to see some PM showers. Saturday, the rain will dissipate. Sunday, this is where the rain for the weekend incoming for next week will come into play. You see that 79% and 34%. It lowers going down into Tuesday, but be ready for that rain. Get your umbrellas, get anything you need. Taking a look at our futurecast. Friday by 9:30, you're seeing these clouds move into Oswego. It's going to be 50 degrees. We're still seeing those unusually warm temperatures. We're going to have that front of cloud move in. You're still seeing some rain in the upper parts of New York. Moving into Friday late at night, the clouds will dissipate, and then you see those temperatures. They went down. They're going down back into the 30s, so the cooler temperatures are starting to come back. You start seeing the clear by Saturday, 6 p.m., and then the clouds start moving in. Now, it's going to be very, very windy tomorrow for Friday. So right now, you see them 14 miles per hour. Going into Friday by 10 a.m. as you're heading out that door, as you're in classes, 27 miles per hour. Now, the gusts are going possibly even further than that, even higher. You see this 29 miles per hour, then 30 miles per hour, and then it'll dissipate as we go into Saturday. You see the 10 miles per hour. So it'll only get breezier tomorrow, and then once we go later on, you'll see it'll stay only a little breezy and it'll stay comfortable. With these high winds coming, this will present wind chill. What is wind chill? Wind chill is when the wind is really, really high and then it makes it feel like a lower temperature. Now, our bodies produce heat. With this heat, it surrounds our body. Now, when there's no wind, it's kind of like a shield around our body, that heat. And then, let's say, for example, it's 20 degrees. However, with little to no wind, a layer of that heat will still remain, and that's what helps keeps us warm. So, once it's 20 degrees and there's not a lot of wind, it'll still feel like 20 degrees. Now, if you have more winds, let's say it's 20 degrees and you have 20 mile per hour winds, what do? Your weather apps are probably going to say it feels like 4 degrees. When it's windy, the moving air breaks up the insulating warm layer. So that warm layer is going to be pushed away basically, and then that's why it'll feel cold, and that's why we need to constantly bundle up. So taking a look into your extended forecast, Friday, again, we're seeing those AM showers, 55 degrees, unusually warm weather. We have a hockey game on Saturday. Weather should be good for that, but bundle up, it's going to be cold. Saturday, you're going to see that rain coming in. Monday, rain will continue for Veterans Day. Tuesday and Wednesday, the sun shall return with some clouds, and Thursday, there is another chance of showers. Taking a look at those temperatures, still pretty warm, but the lows are a little wintry. That is my full weather forecast. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Aurora. Moving forward, 28 people were injured in a tourist bus crash this morning in the town of Chile, New York, just outside of Rochester. The bus traveling from New York City to Niagara Falls flipped on the side at 70 miles per hour after leaving and re-entering the roadway before sliding 200 yards down the highway. One passenger is in serious condition. The driver was issued several tickets this afternoon, including a citation for frantic driving.
Claytown Board voted 4-2 in favor of the new Tully's drive-thru in town. Construction plans were originally denied due to traffic safety concerns, but after franchise owner Daniel Giamartino hired a traffic engineering expert to do a study on the location, the New York State Department of Transportation approved the updated plans. There's no date for when the construction will begin, but Claytown Supervisor Damian Altowski expects excitement from the community.
A phone belonging to Donald Trump's lead criminal defense attorney was hacked by Chinese hackers, the FBI determined. Sources say that the phone belonging to attorney Todd Blanche was broken into months ago, and the hackers were able to access text message and record phone calls from the phone. It's unknown to this point if any communication regarding the sensitive material was impacted. One North Carolina county is leading a financial hand to victims of Hurricane Helene.
As Almayo White reports, the $80.5 million buyout program is for structures that are beyond repair. Back in September,
this neighborhood along the Catawba River was hit with a wall of water from Tropical Storm Helene. 46 homes were damaged to the point they cannot be repaired back to pre-flood condition.
It is a major loss to the community to see that many homes.
Gidget Dennehy has lived in the area for 15 years. Her home wasn't a total loss, but she's relieved to know her neighbors who lost everything will receive help.
We're hoping this helps the homeowners moving forward.
Dennehy is referring to the county commissioner's vote Wednesday night to buy out homes that were submerged during Helene. It's known as the Quick Buy program, which was implemented after 4 major flooding events. The concept is to voluntarily acquire flood-prone homes before substantial repairs start. Now 40 to 50 homes could be considered for a voluntary buyout or retrofit grant as a part of the repair process. Dennehy says she's thinking about the difficult decision her neighbors will have to make.
Many of them have lived on the river along this part for years now, and I hate to leave. So it's going to be hard to make this decision. It's leaving a community that they've raised their children in.
3 people have been charged in the death of former One Direction member Liam Payne. The charges come as the result of raids that took place overnight in the residence belonging to the suspect as well as the hotel where Payne died. Those charged include a hotel employee, a suspected drug dealer, and someone who was, quote, close to the singer. The names of the charged individuals have not been released. Payne's body was released to his family on Wednesday. When WTOP-10 nightly news continues, the FDA and its new report on congestants.
And tracking your lost Apple AirTags might just get easier.
Your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and waited.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen. They become briefly
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
no.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one. Matthew,
Look at that.
can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. In consumer news, the FDA is proposing the removal of a common ingredient found in popular decongestants. The Food and Drug Administration says there's evidence that oral phenylephrine doesn't work. The ingredient is found in brand decongestants that include Sudafed and Dayquil. The debate on the ingredient's effectiveness has been ongoing for years, with clinical trials concluding that it is not effective when taken orally. The FDA says there's no safety concerns and will make a final decision in 6 months.
A new study from the journal Circulation suggests small lifestyle changes can lower your blood pressure. Researchers looked at data from nearly 15,000 people who had blood pressure tracked and discovered that replacing sedentary time in your day with any activity could have a positive impact on your health. According to one professor who was not a part of study, 10 or minutes could even reduce the risk for heart disease and stroke.
Apple is beta testing an update that can make tracking your luggage with Apple AirTags easier. This update would allow Apple AirTags to have their location shared with third parties. So airport staff could look for your bag using the My Find app. You can create a link to the AirTag's location. That link can then be shared, including to those without an Apple device. Additionally, there will also be a new feature that will let Apple AirTag connect to any phone or tablet and share its owner's information.
Coming up in sports, our sports reporter Michelle Smith is live in studio to strive up at least in CAA hockey.
Michelle, what's the latest?
Big news in professional and college hockey today. The NCAA Division I Council has lifted a ban that will affect the NHL's biggest sources of developmental talent. Starting next year, players in the Canadian Hockey League will be eligible to play at colleges in the U.S. Prior to today's reversal, CHL players were deemed professionals due to a $600 stipend paid to players for living expenses. This classification made them ineligible to play at the college level. The revised rules state that all players playing major, junior, or professional ice hockey will retain their NCAA eligibility as long as they are not paid more than what is necessary to cover living expenses. Previously, a youth player would have to choose college hockey or the CHL. Now they can play for the CHL and switch to NCAA when they are college-aged and eligible. This decision will also have significant impacts on the USHL and the NHL prospect pool. And coming up, our sports report anchor Rob Finger is in studio tonight to give us the latest in Laker and national sports. Stay tuned after the break.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one.
Matthew, news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Welcome to the sports section here on WTOP-10 News. I'm Rob Finger. The Oswego Lakers cross-country team made history this weekend for their program as senior Faith Coyle secured a podium spot at the SUNYAC Championships. Her third-place finish is the best result for the Lakers in this event in over 20 years. And her naming to the first-team All-Conference is also a feat that hasn't been done in 2 decades. The Lakers women's team also placed fourth in the standings, their best placement in 20 years as well. Hats off to XC. Taking to the ice, the Oswego Lakers ice hockey teams have quite the weekend coming up, and it's all happening here at the Deb. The women's Division III team kicks off the weekend tomorrow at 7 when they take on the SUNY Canton Kangaroos. Then the Lakers ACHA team has their annual Midnight Mayhem game that same evening when they host the Tigers of RIT. Finally, the men's Division III team will be rounding out the weekend with a Saturday matinee as they face off against the number 2 Adrian Bulldogs for their Military Appreciation Night. Let's head on to the hardwood now, and the Prince himself, Bronny James, has been sent down to the Lakers G League affiliate, the South Bay Lakers. Head coach J.J. Redick said last month that the, quote, plan for Bronny to move between the Lakers and South Bay has always been the plan since day one, end quote. Bronny will be on the roster for tomorrow's game against the Sixers, but the plan is for Bronny to play in G League home games as he shuttles back and forth between the Lakers squads. Back onto the ice, the Tampa Bay Lightning are nearing a historic milestone as their goaltender Andrei Vasilevsky is nearing 300 career wins. He spent a short stint here in Central New York early in his career with the Syracuse Crunch before making the jump to the NHL in 2014. It could be full circle as well, as his debut and first win came against the team they face tonight, the Philadelphia Flyers. Since that debut win, he's played 488 games in the league, won 2 Stanley Cups back-to-back, and was awarded the Vezina Trophy in 2019. The New York Islanders have made the crosstown trek to take on their old nemesis, the New York Rangers, at Madison Square Garden. We'll go to the first period. Noah Dobson on the line. Poked away, however, by Chris Kreider. Here they come the other way. Kreider, Zibanejad. Kreider scores. The Rangers go up 1-0, the only goal of the first, so we'll go to the second now. Rangers entering the zone. Board battle ensues on the far side. Islanders steal it away, though. Back below the goal line it goes. Riley Smith, hot on his heels, however, looks to steal it and does. Pass back to Trocheck, who scores. Rangers take a 2-0 lead, but the Islanders are not to be defeated so easily. Looking to break it out far side. Stopped momentarily by the Rangers forecheckers, but here they come nonetheless. Quick passes go across to the near side. Engvall enters the zone, lets one go. Shesterkin loses it right in front of him, and Casey Cizikas pounds it home, but the Islanders wouldn't be able to do enough. The Rangers would ultimately take victory in this Battle of the Boroughs. 5-2 the final score, as Igor Shesterkin made 35 of 37 saves, and they are back in action right now against the Sabres. Much to the dismay of our director, the score of that game is currently 6-1 Sabres.
That's our report for tonight. Be sure to follow us on socials at WTOP-10 Oswego.
Thank you for watching.
Have a great night, everyone.
Free.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
And it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and waited.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen. They become briefly